Hello everyone, Tactical here. Welcome back to another multiplayer battle on Total Warhammer. This replay was from the Under Empire server. Due to some real-life reasons, I need to pre-record a bunch of replays, and Human Boy Yes has very generously allowed me to pick up some replays from his server. So here we are having a Chaos Dwarf versus Tzeentch battle, submitted by Olaf the Moose. Now for the army builds here, the Chaos Dwarf going for a front line of Orc Laborers, backed up by a bunch of Bull Center Renders, one of them the Hashut Stark Ravagers, packing some powerful throwing axes, and they're supported by some Goblin Laborers behind them, providing some more meat shields and numbers at the back of the formation. There's one single Dwarf rocket launcher to nuke enemy infantry formations with a scatter shot, or just snipe out single entity characters with their massive anti-large weapon strength if they can switch over to the demolition rocket with that 500 bonus versus large. Leading the army is a Sorcerer Prophet of Metal on a Great Taurus, coming in with Searing Doom and Final Transmutation, and of course with their Chalice for healing as well. On the far side, Hobgoblin Wolf Raider Archers providing some skirmishing firepower. And finally, an interesting supporting character, the Infernal Castellan. Two of them, in fact, and without any items or abilities, they're actually coming in quite cheap. On top of that, they are decent fighters with 45 attack, 42 melee defense with bonus versus large thanks to their fire glaives. They can poke at enemy armored targets with their long-range armor-piercing firepower, and if the enemy get close, they can just pull up their fire glaives and go into melee combat. Let's see how they perform in battle. On the other side of the battlefield, the Tzeentch army here coming in with quite a heavy metal front line. Chaos Warriors with a bunch of halberd versions as well at the back. A total of 5 whole units of elite infantry. And then on the far side for the mobility, 2 Senegals of Tzeentch and 2 more Screamers of Tzeentch. That's a lot of armor-piercing mobility. As for the single entities here, 2 melee characters on the flying discs, Exalted Hero of Tzeentch and the Chaos Lord. Both are powerful anti-large armor-piercing characters. As for spell support, a single Chaos Sorcerer of Tzeentch with Final Transmutation and the Skull of Cthulhu for that spell mastery, that spell damage boost. That's it for army builds, and now let's get the battle started. Battle begins, and Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders with bows on the flanks are moving forward, trying to do some skirmishing and chip away the health of these tentacles of Tzeentch, but more likely just mostly chipping off their Tzeentch barrier here. They do have to be careful though. Senegals of Tzeentch have the Primal Fury boosting their speed up to 92, so they can actually catch the Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders if they're not careful. Just like that, the Chaos Dwarf had a slip in the Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders micro, and they are being caught by the Tentacles and will be routed off, and I don't think they will be allowed to return there. The Tentacles and even the Flying Disc Anti-Large Duel are going after them. Already losing their Skirmish Cav, not a great start to the Chaos Dwarf in this battle. The Sorcerer Prophet of Metal here, getting a little bit ahead of himself, getting too close to the double anti-large halberd characters of the Tzeentch side, taking some damage in that melee fight. While on the far side, the Tzeentch formations are pushing up, but they are also being bombarded by the Dwarf rocket launcher. Chaos Warriors of Tzeentch getting their Tzeentch barrier knocked out. Same goes for the Chaos Sorcerer of Tzeentch with metal magic. The Demolition Rocket does indeed pack insane damage against large characters, though despite being a guided missile with target tracking, it can still miss if its target starts moving. But once it hits, the massive missile strength, especially with the 500 anti-large bonus, can certainly do some damage. In the sky, the Sorcerer Prophet's Great Taurus is slower than the Disc of Tzeentch. The Exalted Hero and the Tzeentch Lord were able to just catch him a couple more times and do a little bit more damage, but they are now diverted over here as the Hashut Stark Ravagers have been psycho-charging down these Chaos Warriors, doing some really nice damage, forcing the Tentacles, the Screamers, and the double Tzeentch characters, double Tzeentch fighters to respawn, trying to intercept and catch these elite cavalry of the Chaos Dwarves. However, the Orc Laborers are here, screening out the enemy units, and another massive hit from the Dwarf rocket launcher, the Demolition Rockets, really demolishing this poor Chaos Sorcerer. On the far side there, the Tentacles have managed to push back the enemy Wolf Raiders, but at what cost? They themselves being caught by the Bull Center Renders and are being dispatched as well. Now back to the front line, their Laborers are charging into Chaos Warriors, and they're getting absolutely smashed in melee combat. The Skull of Cthulhu has been activated on the Tzeentch Metal Sorcerer, but that was a little bit too early, as it has not overlapped with the actual activation of the Final Transmutation from the Sorcerer. Unfortunately, Tzeentch was not able to benefit from the Spell Mastery boost at all. While the Sorcerer is being deleted by the Demolition Rockets, the Final Transmutation actually was very nicely placed, as the Chaos characters and these expensive Bull Center Enders are piling in, and also the double anti-large fighters from the Tzeentch side are trying really hard, going going all in to snipe out the Sorcerer Prophet on his flying cow, even trying to drop that Bolt of Change onto the enemy lord to get more burst damage. Still, the Sorcerer Prophet managed to get out thanks to the Bull Center Renders and the double Castellan coming in swinging their axes or axe guns, the fire glaives. One of them even doing a super extra barrel roll before blasting the Tzeentch Lord in the face. Things are looking quite rough for the Tzeentch Lord as he is already down to half health. On the side, the Zanagors here are getting quite weakened. I don't think it's the Goblin Laborers doing damage to them since the Goblin Laborers are chaff. Let's see the damage of these guys. Yeah, they didn't do much damage, so they must have taken damage from some other fight. Perhaps they were fighting the Bull Center Renders, I'm not quite sure. And the Chaos Warriors supporting him are all bunched up around him, giving the Chaos Dwarfs a perfect target for a Searing Doom, bombarding these poor Tzeentch Warriors. Now the Tzeentch characters are completely without any infantry support, so the Chaos Lord of Tzeentch probably needs to get out of there ASAP. The Chaos Warriors here making sure the Hashut Dark Ravagers pay for their cycle charging as they're stuck in melee for a little too long, overstaying their welcome in sustained combat, taking some attrition damage due to their low armor. Bull Center Renders are now providing more support to the double Castellan and the Sorcerer Prophet of Metal diving in himself, trying hard to snipe out the Tzeentch Lord. And being trapped between so many Bull Center Renders surrounded by anti-large and armor-piercing combatants, the Screamers are trying to help out, but the Chaos Lord of Tzeentch is probably just gonna go down in here, getting hacked to bits, and more axe guns coming in. Another barrel roll and shooting the Chaos Lord in the back. Yeah, he is going down for sure. A Searing Doom once again from the Metal Sorcerer Prophet onto these Halberd Warriors, thinning out their numbers. Actually, it did more damage to the Screamers, if anything, just by passing their physical resistance as well. A breath attack, a really nice one on to those Chaos Warriors with sword and shield, and now the Hashut Dark Ravagers are shooting into their flanks. The Tzeentch Lord has been routed due to all those anti-large combatants. The Infernal Castellan had did some decent damage, I believe. Yeah, almost earning back their worth on one. The other one also getting some good damage, but most of the damage I feel like is done by the Bull Center Renders, getting a nice round onto them. Tzeentch Lord almost dead, finally routing away from combat, but the Infernal Castellan caps him from behind. The Tzeentch Lord falls to the ground, and there goes the leadership of Tzeentch. All the Tzeentch units will now suffer leadership debuffs from their dead lord. Like these Tzeentch Screamers here, being recharged by the enemy Bull Center Renders with great weapons. The Tzeentch player definitely recognized the threat of the Death Shrieker, jumping on top of it with the Exalted Hero and the Screamers, trying to finish it off. But that also opens up the Screamers to a rear charge. The demons fade away from reality, and now the Bull Center Renders are trying to surround and hack down the Exalted Hero. He wants to get out of there ASAP, and thankfully there are some Halberd Warriors coming in to screen out the enemy mobility. The double Castellans are still duking it out against the enemy melee combatants. The Halberd Warriors, they're doing some mad damage. They're not designed to fight infantry anyway, so they should not be in there. But that does give the Hashut Dark Ravagers a nice opportunity to start throwing their axes at the Chaos Warriors with Halberds. We should do some fast forward here, as we are in a bit of a kiting phase. The Chaos Dwarf army definitely do not want to go into melee, not having any strong melee combatants left, and just trying to do all the damage from afar, dropping in spells and missiles, while the Tzeentch army tries to catch the enemies in melee and hack them down with their superior combatants. Exalted Heroes don't want to deal with multiple Bull Center Enders and will be retreating, while Halberd Warriors hacking down those Goblin Laborers. On the far side, Sorcerer Prophet dropping on the ground to rout some Tzeentch units, chewing up some poor Chaos Warriors with Halberds, plus the double Castellans are just poking at the enemy character or even some of the Halberd Warriors if they get the chance. Some shots are coming in, but I don't think that actually landed on the Exalted Hero of Tzeentch there. Mostly missing because it is a rather small target, despite it is a large size model. The disc isn't that big, so it is quite hard to hit it. Basically as big as a foot-sized character, pretty much. Now the Chaos Warriors are coming in to help the Exalted Hero out against the Bull Center Renders, but that of course exposed them to the long-range fire from the double Castellan, the Hashut Dark Ravagers, and the hand grenade launcher of the Sorcerer Prophet. But it's still quite hard to actually hit the target because a character on a disc is not that big. I would say it's about the same size as other Footlord with wings. Anyways, the Exalted Hero diving onto the Hashut Dark Ravagers, trying to take out this elite cavalry. But then the Sorcerer Prophet countercharged the lone hero. He has turned on Colossal Strike here to try and hit back, but all these Hashut Dark Ravagers, they are no slouch in melee combat at all, being Regiment of Renown and having solid melee stats. The Exalted Hero is getting quite tired. His stats have been nerfed due to the vigor levels, and surrounded by multiple armor-piercing combatants, he has taken substantial damage and will be routed. And at this point, there's only the Halberd Warriors left on the battlefield, and they will be poked down by those armor-piercing throwing axes and the Infernal Castellan also poking at the enemy warriors from afar, doing some chip damage here and there. The Chaos Dwarfs are retreating and kiting as they have no reason to engage the Tzeentch army in melee. We are in conquest mode, so any kind of kiting is completely legitimate, and the Dawiza are denying Tzeentch from getting the melee fight they want. The Tzeentch army is now finally trying to capture the victory point, but unfortunately we are 10 minutes into the game, so it is way too late for this now. At the beginning of the battle, the Chaos Dwarfs were sitting back, giving Tzeentch the perfect opportunity to capture the victory point, but seems like Tzeentch has forgotten to do so, and now the victory tickets are too little too late to change the battle, and that shall be a Chaos Dwarf victory. GG to both players, and thanks for Olaf the Moose for submitting the replay, and a shout out to Human Boy SCS for allowing me to pick up replays from his server. Now for the army performances, the Deathstreaker rocket launcher not doing a whole lot of damage, but the damage was definitely essential there, using the pinpoint accuracy of the demolition rocket to shut down the enemy Sorcerer of Tzeentch. You can see that with only one final transmutation, he already did 1,200 gold worth of damage value on the single entities and some of the Bull Center renders, and if he was able to cast another final transmutation, that would have been devastating to the Chaos Dwarfs. But because the Deathstreaker rocket launcher eliminated Tzeentch's spellcasting power early in the game, which is one of the biggest strengths of the Tzeentch army, being able to recharge their army ability, the Tzeentch army was basically fighting with their hands tied for most of the game. Now for the rest of the army here, the Bull Center renders, 2 of them did some amazing damage, especially this one. I believe this one is the one that surround and beat up the Tzeentch Lord. Of course, the double Castellans also did some good work, earning back their own value and then some more, while the chaff, well, they're just the chaff, so not much to say about the laborers. The Sorcerer Prophet of Metal, as usual, a very solid lord to do damage and just lead the army with damaging spells and breath attacks with the mount. For the Tzeentch army here, the double characters, especially the Exalted Hero of Tzeentch, trying hard to carry the game, doing some insane damage throughout the battle with the Exalted Hero of Tzeentch with 2,700 gold worth of damage value, cutting through the HP bar of the Sorcerer Prophet and cutting down a bunch of these Bull Center renders, and of course the Deathstreaker rocket launcher. The Chaos Lord of Tzeentch also did some good damage, but he was stuck in melee among a bunch of Great Weapon, Bull Center renders, and the double Castellan for a little bit too long there, so he was not able to survive into the end of the game. The infantry here, unfortunately, they were just not quite able to catch up to the more mobile forces of the Chaos Dwarfs, having all those Bull Center renders. The Screamers, they are quite fragile, so once they get charged by the enemy Bull Center renders, they quickly died. Same goes for the Senegals of Tzeentch. One of them managed to get good value, but the other one, who have overchased some Wolf Raiders there, being charged by the Bull Center renders, was finished off early. And yeah, that's it for today's battle. I hope you all enjoyed this multiplayer action, and if you want to see more Total War Warhammer multiplayer content, be sure to hit the like on this video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Tactical Lich, signing out.